Taylor Gone here. Today I'm working on my push press and my press accessories. Last week, so just kind of backstory, I'm doing 4 weeks waves of everything right now, so it'll be 3 weeks focused on, my main heavy or volume movements. One down week where I'm going to choose something much lighter for variation, but still incorporates all the mechanics that I'm trying to work on, and specifically exposes and highlights the main weak point of the previous 3 weeks that will, help me progress into the following 3 weeks. So the main feedback I got from Dave, who you've seen in the physical therapy episodes, about last week's press session was I was catching the weight here and I was pushing my butt back to catch like this. And he wants me to tilt the pelvis forward and catch in a more neutral position. So it was nice timing that last week was my third week, and now I am able to play around this week and find something that really targets that point, because when I tried getting under a bar or getting under a log and doing what I just showed there, it was just still a little bit too much restriction to be able to fully get it. So when I'm running these blocks where I have X amount of weeks ramping up, followed by a deload week, and then continuing on, like I just said, I really want to pick something, a variation that's still a push press, still an overhead press, but it's both light enough and it's, varied enough, where I can really hammer and feel that part. So my rep range is higher, my load is a lot lower, and the variation is just a little bit easier to feel out. So I'm sticking with the reactive push press like I have for the last 3 weeks, but I'm switching to dumbbell and I'm doing like multiple sets of 15 to 20 reps at a very light weight so that I can really feel where to put my hips when I finish the press. So I'm going to go ahead and do a set so you can see what that looks like, and that'll be the end of this video. I was just kind of, I'm not really working on a series or anything right now. I'm just trying to randomly put my training thoughts into these YouTube videos. So I'm going to grab, I don't know, I did 25s, 35s. We'll try 45s. I'll do a few from the front, and then we'll show from the side. So already you can see I'm getting in the same exact stance as if I was with a barbell, but because of the dumbbell, I'm able to stack everything from the start and get it perfectly, right? Okay, now, not only was this variation selected to hammer the point, the feedback from which Dave gave me, the weak point, or the breaking point, but it also allows me to practice the main points that I'm trying to practice on my push press right now. So aside from the pelvic tilt and getting my hips into a neutral position at the top, I am also working on how deep can I dip before I lose my foot position, right? Or before I lose this position right here. So I'm really focusing on dipping while keeping that pelvis and hips neutral, right? Before, when I started this block, I would come down like that, and I couldn't get very deep with holding that position. So as the weeks went on, I was able to correct that a little bit, but not 100%. Now this session, I'm having some light bulbs go off, and I am able to fully, hammer down these points that I'm trying to work on, which are going to positively translate into the next block where I can get back onto the barbell and do this stuff. Maybe not 100%, but it'll be a lot better than last block. And, as the blocks pile up and layer up, as things go on, eventually this will become so ingrained that it doesn't matter what implement or what weight that I have, I will be able to hold these main cues that I'm working on. And, we hear a lot about activation drills or activation movements for activating less than active muscle groups or mechanics. And this is the way that it works. You have to get feedback either from watching video or a feeling or a coach telling you. And you have to, I've done the exercises that Dave prescribed me to warm up for the day. And then I have to load it with something specific enough where I can practice my sport, but allows me to practice those cues. And then it has to be translated again into a main heavy movement or a volume movement before it gets super heavy. But it doesn't work, and it often leads to worse problems if you go from your activation drills, the light exercises before training, into your heavy work. It doesn't work like that. It has to take steps and be loaded, all the way from the start to finish. You have to have a little bit of load on what you just did, and then a little bit more load on top of that before you get into the heavy work. So when we talk about activation, the activation comes from that reinforcing process, not from one specific drill. You have to have 2 or 3 different pathways reinforcing these movement patterns and this muscle engagement before it actually becomes productively and sustainably active. So make sure you're doing this, and let me know if you have any questions on this topic, or if you have any questions on how to properly integrate activation exercises and protocols into your workout. Thanks for watching.